Once again, I'm filming from my phone because I can't find the memory card to my camera. Hey guys, it's Malia Taylor. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little more important today. I just watched Asia Dang's video on a toxic relationship and I really appreciated that video, and I've always been a fan. First of all, if you're watching this, you probably know Asia Dang. She was here in Hawaii as well, so kind of feel connected. But no, on all honesty, I really appreciated her video, and I wish I had seen something like that when I was going through a toxic relationship. So this is my response to the video, just throwing out some of my notes on there, and hopefully this will be an addition if you watched her video and you needed some extra help. Hey, what's up? It does get better. We all go through it. There's no reason to feel alone. Stay tuned. I first just wanted to cover how to tell if you're in a toxic relationship. Some people may be in denial, and when you feel absolutely low, when you feel almost worthless, when you feel like you're just not good enough in your position in the relationship, I think those are definite signs that you are in a toxic relationship, to where if you feel like you're being treated like trash, or if you just emotionally feel drained, almost in a tug of war with this person, just trying to make it work when it never does. And you can keep trying, and you can keep thinking that you can change the person, or that you can change. If your gut tells you that something just isn't right here and that you've been trying for too long and it's not getting better, those are definite signs that it's a toxic relationship. It sucks because you think that you can keep trying and oh, this is just something we need to get over, and it doesn't get better. And you know, sometimes people just don't work out. Sometimes their personalities, their morals clash, and maybe you're here and this person's here in phases in their life, and for whatever reason you two just aren't good for each other. And you can try to talk yourself out of it, you can make whatever excuse you want, but you will reach a point where you have to accept the fact that it is a toxic relationship. When she first started getting into the video, she was saying if you're in an abusive relationship, mentally, physically, emotionally, whatever it is, although I agree with that, I just wanted to say that sometimes it's not always one-sided. So you both might not be good for each other. So even though you feel like you hate this person did you dirty, or whatever it may be, sometimes people go through things where they're the problem, and there's nothing wrong with that, because a lot of times when we go through a toxic relationship, we almost lose ourselves, and so we can also turn into the person that we didn't intentionally want to be. Even though you're with someone that isn't good for you, you may not be necessarily good for them as well, and that's not a bad thing. You know, we're just experiencing life however we can, and sometimes things just don't work out. So it's not just that that person's bad for you, but it's that you both weren't good for each other. The next thing is that her first step getting over through a toxic relationship was not contacting them. And I can't stress this enough, just depending on how much self-control you have, it's super important that you stick to it. So as if you're like going on a diet, trying on a new meal plan, exercising, anything that requires habit that you just have a hard time taking those first few steps on, it's really important to stay to that regimen. If you've gone a day or two without talking to them, you feel good, and it's like you're almost about to break, be sure you just stay on track, because I promise you it will get a lot better. So just continuing to not contact them so you can allow yourself to self-heal, that is super important. So no contact at all, block them, don't have any access to anything relating to them, any way that you can see them on social media, whatever it may be. Just keep the temptations at bay, even though you may tell yourself, no, I can handle that. Like, just don't chance it. Zero contact, zero temptation. Any way you can distract yourself, I feel like that's really good. Go hang out with friends, maybe go work on something, start up a new hobby, just anything to really get your mind off of it, because it makes time seem like it's going faster. And the more time you allow yourself to keep that distance of no contact, it gets a lot easier, I promise you. The next thing that she covered was reflecting and taking the qualities of that person from that toxic relationship, all the pros, the good things that you liked about them, and keep that in mind when looking for someone else. So maybe like you really like their sense of humor. Maybe you'll think about, I like people with a good sense of humor. Maybe I'll keep that in mind if I do meet someone else. So that is good to keep in mind. Personally, I feel like working on yourself is most important when you get out of a toxic relationship. Don't rush it. For me personally, through that time, I just wasn't focused on finding that next person. I think it was really important to just make sure you're treating yourself well, making sure you're healthy, and just taking it super slow. There's no reason to feel rushed, especially after a toxic relationship. There's no reason to jump back in there right away. Whatever your set pace is, just go along with that. Don't feel pressured. Just do what feels right for you. I found that when I did that, the new opportunity kind of presented itself to me rather than me seeking it out. That can definitely happen for you too. So I would just focus on yourself and stay distracted. It's good to keep those qualities that you liked about that person, but any way you can kind of like keep that person out of your mind for the time being, I think that would be the best way to go. So she also mentioned that it's good to remember those bad qualities that you found in that relationship and see if you see a pattern with what you're attracted to. See if that's a situation you've subconsciously been putting yourself in when you're starting to see somebody in a new relationship, to kind of just keep an eye out of what's most important for you in a partner, maybe their morals. So make sure you see that early on and make sure that what's most important to you in a person is something that is shown early on in the relationship. Because I don't necessarily know if it's worth your time to invest in somebody who you kind of see red flags in the beginning, but you kind of just ignore it because you're in that lust stage. So definitely things that are important to you in a relationship, if they aren't there, maybe just kind of weigh out your options. She also mentioned the life lessons learned after getting over the toxic relationship, and I think that is definitely important because everything will work out on its own. You just have to give it time. Like I was saying earlier, time heals all is what I believe. As you get older, you start to look back on that toxic relationship and you realize just how much you've learned and how much stronger and how much more whole you feel afterwards. So when you're going through that rough time, just remember that you will get to that stage. It will happen for you. And you will learn a lot of things and you'll feel so much more confident and so much more sure of yourself. And then she also covers that it's really important to go out and stay busy. As I was saying before, not everybody has super close friends that they can lean on and kind of vent their problems to. Maybe you just have acquaintances, but whatever the outlet may be, as long as you have people that can show you a good time, that can make you happy, whether it's family, friends, coworkers, any type of outlet that keeps you distracted and just kind of lifts you up. Whatever you can do to just help lift yourself up. It always does help having a good support system, but I mean, even if it's just you pushing it through on your own, just remember that there's always someone going through something very similar to you, and it is definitely possible to get over, and just focus on you. The beginning stages of going through a breakup, you will have your breakdowns. At least that's how it goes for me. You will just want to stay in. You will want to shut everybody out. You kind of just curl up in a ball and just let all the negative emotions out. While that's good for the beginning stages, I feel, because you shouldn't ignore that heartbreak. You should definitely let it out in a healthy way at your own pace. So if you need a couple days to maybe, cry, just curl up in your bed, watch a couple movies at home, eat junk food, whatever it may be. I don't think you should be doing it for a long period of time. I think once the crying period is over, you can pick yourself back up and start to pamper yourself and start the positive recovery process. It's almost like cleansing yourself. So once you get all the cries out, it's almost like you just let that all go. Yeah, so I thought her video was super helpful. I really wish when I was going through that time I had watched it, because it would have been really helpful looking up to her. I just want to let you know that it's definitely not the end of the world. although it may feel like it in the beginning stages, just look forward to how happy you're gonna be when you find true happiness within yourself and when you're ready to take the next step into going into a healthy relationship. It's only the beginning, and just remind yourself that it does get better. Not like, oh, maybe it will get better. Like, it will. Like, be confident. It does get better. It might be longer than a few days. It might be longer than a few weeks, you know. However long it takes you, you will get there. This is just one of those stages that we go through to make us stronger. I almost feel like it's something we have to go through to get to the really good part. So stay positive. Wherever you are supposed to end up to be, this is that obstacle you need to get over before you get there. Be sure you like, comment, and subscribe to this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.